people to Bitcoin Live, another amazing show. Our good friend Max from Nimiq is back on. Hi Max.
Hi Max.
Hey guys, thank you very much for the invitation, for having me on the show again. Really exciting.
It's our pleasure. It's always great to having you on. We loved the last time you were on. There was a lot of excitement, and yeah, I think Nimiq is building hard and fast.
Yes, yeah, you know, like the community knows that we're always building our tech, and sometimes they say, oh, you know, like Nimiq keeps on building and building, but we want to see results. So it's just an amazing milestone for us that we really like publicly released Nimiq OASIS yesterday. That is our, you know, if you're familiar with Nimiq, you know that we've been working on this technology for more than 2 years. We had an extensive beta phase where people were testing, and we did, you know, a lot of community testing to see how the system actually works. And that is like finally over. It's not a beta anymore. It's not a test. It's the real deal. And for me, having read about Nimiq and the overall and the plan to make, you know, fiat money compatible to blockchain technology, I think it was back in 2019, beginning of 2019, when I read the first post. That was long before I actually started to work with Nimiq. And I thought, wow, okay, this is an amazing concept of having that non-custodial, decentralized fiat on-ramp into the crypto world. And like being here with a small party, making that a reality and see it live is I'm totally overwhelmed, to be honest. But of course, you know, every end is also a new beginning. So we're looking forward to what is to come and to all the cool like projects that will build on top of Oasis and use that technology. Like this door just opened for us, and now we are set to explore what's up next, and that's incredibly exciting too, because that will bring, like, you know, Oasis as a technology and the concept out into the crypto world and create real benefit.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations, because that's like a real milestone, and we know how hard you worked on it, the whole team, of course. But before we dive into that, we usually ask our guests to tell them a little bit about themselves, about you, Max.
So maybe you can reintroduce to people who haven't met you, Max, and of course Nimiq, if it's possible, and then they know who you are, and then we'll move on to the questions.
Yeah, of course, sure. So for everyone who shouldn't know me, my name is Max. I'm the ambassador of the Nimiq project. So that means I'm a public spokesperson on the one hand, but also responsible for business development and partnerships. So connecting everything that's new and exciting in the crypto world and making it accessible to our ecosystem and community. Nimiq itself is an open source blockchain project, and we are on the mission to building the most accessible, easy to use true cryptocurrency and payments ecosystem for a decentralized future of decentralized payments, basically. So what we're doing is we're building a cryptocurrency, NIM, that stays true to the fundamental pillars of crypto. You know, what, like the vision that Bitcoin is also addressing as the very first cryptocurrency. So it's open, it's borderless, it's neutral, it's decentralized, and it's censorship resistant. Those are the 5 fundamental pillars of crypto and why the technology is cool for decentralized payments. But what's missing, and the more you dive into the tech and, you know, into cryptocurrencies, the more you'll see that it lacks ease of use, you know, to be really nicely and conveniently usable for people also who are not skilled with cryptocurrency, but used to like using other apps like PayPal and the like. It has to be fast, it has to be cheap, it has to be scalable, it has to be ecological, and it also has to serve, from our point of view, also a higher purpose, which is in our form the charitable aspect, that we have this amazing opportunity, you know, to build a truly decentralized but easy to use payment system for the entire world and make it usable. And that is, you know, we want to contribute. We want to make the world from like payments perspective, but, you know, we also have Impact X Foundation, which is like entirely dedicated to ecological and other projects who benefit the society. And we are bringing this truly decentralized crypto world together with the ease of use that a human being would wish, you know, in everyday operations. And that's why we say we build crypto for humans. And that is, you know, that is the mission that we're at. And yeah, basically, you know, I'm here to be a guest on an interview like the one with you guys, you know, to tell the world about Nimiq, about all the great stuff that we're doing. And of course, you know, I'm making new partnerships and trying to make Nimiq accessible to more people and foster like adoption and everything that's necessary. Yeah, you know, to get our foots on the ground and become that great payment ecosystem that we want to be.
Well, you touched a little bit upon it there already, Max. You also stated ecological, so you could also say greener. How is it? In what sense is it greener than, for example, maybe Bitcoin or Litecoin or another cryptocurrency?
Well, you know, at this point in time, we're still running on the Nimiq 1.0 blockchain. So this is proof of work. It works with the same mechanisms as Bitcoin. So people actually mine NIM in order to validate transactions and make, you know, the whole network functionable. But that, as like I assume a lot of, if not most people know, requires computer work. And computers to work need electricity. And I think now Bitcoin network has an equivalent consumption to Argentina. I think that is something that I read. And so, you know, in the times that we're living in, where we're really working towards a greener and sustainable future, just look at the whole tweets and the Elon Musk story from the last 2 weeks. This is not a sustainable concept. And so we decided to move to proof of stake, which comes with like a whole lot more benefits. People will be able to stake NIM, you know, earn rewards by securing the network. But most important, it will make the Nimiq blockchain, Nimiq 2.0, super fast with like a peak of 1,000 transactions per second in a truly decentralized network. Like that is a real achievement. And on the other hand, you know, I think now I don't remember the energy that one transaction on the Nimiq network, but it will be like 1% or 1.5% of one single AAA battery in the future. So the energy consumption will come down a lot and make Nimiq a whole greener and sustainable, but also make it super fast, enable staking, and you know, it will be an entire upgrade to the Nimiq blockchain, and that will be a very important step for us. And everybody is also looking forward to, you know, making that step also. And yeah, very importantly, from the ecological aspect, it's just the right thing to do. And if you know Nimiq, is we always do what is the right thing and not the quickest shortcut or anything. We want to do things right. We've always done that, and we'll continue doing so.
That's another reason to own NIM, because soon you can stake it. So that's a bonus. We love Nimiq. They also have like a great community. You guys have a really lively and a very active community. And last time I forgot to ask a very important question, but you answered it off the show, and that was, what does Nimiq stand for? What does it mean?
Oh, well, Nimiq is an Inuit word, actually, and stands for a good force that binds things together. And that is basically, it also gives me goosebumps. That's how I live and breathe what we're doing here. You know, this is really how we see us as a project. We want to do something good and create real benefit and yeah, you know, have a useful contribution for the world when it comes to payments. But we're also looking forward to actually make our first charitable actions in the near future. So we really see us, for the entire crypto space also, you know, as a good force that brings valuable contributions into the space, and potentially dreaming big helps to, you know, make payments more open and borderless, and help to contribute in a meaningful way.
Yeah, so yeah, that brings us to our next question. What can we expect the coming months from Nimiq?
Oh wow, you know, like there is a lot on our roadmap. If you take a look at what's left for 2021, Nimiq 2.0, like the transition from proof of work to proof of stake, is of course in our main focus after like OASIS has been publicly released now. My colleagues are working on the final tweaks on the testnet right now, and so that will be hopefully finalized in the very near future, so that we can make it accessible, you know, to the community. And then of course, you know, it's a very complex piece of software, and it's meant, like, the next challenge is to really test drive it and go full speed and see how it reacts. And for sure there will be like some improvements and changes that have to be made, but like hardening such a protocol that, you know, when we roll it out, it will handle a lot of money, and it needs and will do that in a very secure and decentralized way. So there is absolutely no shortcut in developing such an important piece of technology. Just took time, but you know, we already had a test of our staking interface out, so the community could actually play around with what the actual staking interface and the wallet looks like. So we are making very good progress with that regard, without being able to give definite timelines, but that is something very important for the rest of the year focusing on. And yeah, there, of course, you know, as I said, the whole ecosystem around OASIS is now opening up. I've got an email folder with lots of requests from all over the world, from projects who want to build something on top of OASIS. And until now, I was telling them, okay, you know, you can have like the mock sandbox environment and go on and try it. But now this actually opened up, and that will keep us big, and hopefully have some cool news and partnership announcements in the future. But you know, never, whatever you do, there's always, Rome isn't built in a day. Like all of these discussions, evaluations, you know, this is like the technology that we're building makes it incredibly easy for people on and off ramp. But like the underlying functionalities and tech behind it, also for advanced blockchain projects, it's sometimes not that easy to understand how it actually works and how it does the magic. And now we are sort of growing into, like, we are becoming, you know, the support. We have to build up an integration support, you know, how to consult people and other projects on what they can do with OASIS, offer help, offer like integration processes. And this is now all being ramped up. That is another important focus. And of course, you know, there's, it's basically get it, hold it, spend it. Those are the three areas that you can focus in if you are like a currency project. So get it, this is OASIS. Hold it will be maybe like relating to Nimiq 2.0 staking wallet, but there's also this spend it aspect. And we all know that, you know, a cryptocurrency is not really, you have to be able to do something with it. And that will be a very interesting challenge for the years to come. And of course, we're also looking into that area and see how we can actually, you know, make Nimiq useful and usable as a currency. That is also very interesting and will be in our focus. And of course, you know, there are some secret projects that we're working on that are not on any roadmap, stuff that we're exploring or doing research, which might lead to other interesting developments. And you know, there's always some sort of surprise, hopefully.
Yeah, because I forwarded you some questions, or at least Jan did, and there were some some stuff that was hush-hush.
It was not out in the open, so we won't discuss them. But that makes us, of course, very excited for the future of Nimiq.
Yeah, yeah.
Because all the things you described are already pretty big. I personally, you have touched upon it, the staking part. So maybe you can explain a little bit about it for the people, how it works, who don't know about staking yet, or staking on Nimiq at least.
Well, definitely. So usually, you know, in order to validate transactions in a proof of work network, you use electricity as, let's say, the entrance to potentially earn a reward. You know, so you're investing electricity in order to verify transactions on a network, and the more you invest, the more the rewards you get if you were, let's say, part of a mining pool. And with proof of stake, you are using your funds in order to help and validate transactions on the network. That means that you'll be able to kind of deposit your NIM into a special staking contract, and that will give you rewards for it. So it's basically like, I only know the German word Festgeldkonto. It's like an account where you put your savings in, and it gives you kind of a return on your money. And that is, so staking basically, if you want to mine Nimiq now, you can do so in our browser still, but if you really want to mine, you need hardware, you need software, you need computer skills, you know, in order to run such a miner as a profitable business. And in the future, everybody will be able to help secure the network with just depositing their funds into such a special staking contract. So we are removing any technical knowledge, technical equipment, or entry barriers from average everyday people, and open up that possibility, helping to contribute in network security and earning rewards for it, all in one space. Very accessible, very easy to use.
Is there like a minimum that you have to stake? Because with, for example, Ethereum, you need 32 Ethereum, but
yeah. I heard about this. In order to, so there, you know, you can like run a staking pool that requires a certain minimum. I'm not sure about the number, but it might be to run your own staking pool. It might be something around between 1,000 and 10,000 NIM, but don't name me down on that. I don't have the exact number in mind. But for an average, like if you don't, that also, you know, if you run a staking pool, it requires this technical knowledge, at least, you know, in order how to do that. But if you just want to contribute and like put your NIM in such a special staking contract and earn rewards, I think there is no minimum to do that. So whatever, you know, like opening it up, like, you know, this is the going back to the borderless and neutral and inclusive nature of Nimiq. Okay, so if you want to stake Ethereum, you need 32 Ethereum.
Yeah,
that basically says it all. So, you know, I don't know, but there are certainly enough people who can stake with 32 Ethereum, but the usual average person who like reads about cryptocurrency and wants to get involved and make their first step, they usually don't have 32 Ethereum at hand. And so that is why we want to keep those entry barriers for staking very, very low, if at all, you know, just for, you know, there are some technical standards that need to be met in order to run a validator, because we want the network to be secure. But for everyday people, it's going to be super easy, no entry barrier. Just, you know, whatever you have, stake it, be able to earn rewards and participate in the network directly through a node in your browser on any device without connecting to any third-party intermediaries.
Yeah, this part, what you just explained, Max, is very exciting to me as a person, because that means that anyone in the whole world who has a mobile phone, and almost anyone who doesn't have much money, can afford a cheaper mobile phone, smartphone, and then they can participate and also be part of the economy and also earn rewards. So that's one awesome feature, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and this is also part of our vision and of that being a true cryptocurrency and staying true to the original philosophy of crypto. So given the Bitcoin network, as I said, you know, in order to be, you can send Bitcoin transactions, you know, from like whatever wallet, But in order to really be a peer, a true peer in the Bitcoin network, you have to run a node, and that again requires technical equipment and technical knowledge. And so this was not how we envisioned a true cryptocurrency for humans to be. We wanted people to be like a first-class citizen, how we call it. We wanted people to be a true peer of the blockchain network. And we did that by compressing the complex technology that is necessary in order to run a node and make it so small that it actually runs in any browser on any device. So no need to connect to a centralized exchange, wallet, or whatever who runs the node for you, and you are only interacting with them on sort of like an interface. You do something and you're sending something to the blockchain, but they are doing the actual work, because that's the complicated and the hard part. And we wanted to remove that intermediary and make everyone, and get everyone easy and convenient access to true blockchain technology.
And was there a trade-off, or is just Bitcoin's node system a little bit outdated?
I don't want to say that there was a trade-off. I think it's just technological development. Bitcoin was the very first cryptocurrency, and for sure it introduced this whole vision and like blockchain technology. And of course, the more people use it, the more flaws and problems and challenges you identify. So for a project building another like layer 1 technology that is set to solve all these the challenges, and make it really usable. Of course, that was a big technological challenge. And by the time Nimiq was launched, we were the only project that was able to, and it's not a joke. It's like a true, the full technology that you need to run a full node, compressed so small that it runs in your browser. It's not like a gimmick and like a green light that says you are connected to the blockchain, but you're actually just connected to some sort of, other interface that mimics being a peer. But when you open the wallet and there's like a little network section and you click on it, like from whatever device, you can actually see the other nodes that you are connected to when you're opening your Nimiq wallet. So it's really, it's just amazing. So we just sat down and said, all right, the vision behind Bitcoin and the idea behind it is amazing, but there are challenges to it. So let's sit down and find a way to solve those challenges to make it a really worldwide, truly decentralized cryptocurrency for everybody.
Now we're both holders of Nimiq. We love it. And it's a very user-friendly interface. I also like the icons that you get when you open a wallet. It's really, really well done. But back to Oasis Pro, how are things at the moment between N31 Bank and Nimiq? How are things developed?
Well, like our cooperation, as you saw with Oasis, is flourishing. It's completely this is what we've been working on for the past 2 years, and like having that smart contract controlled bank account IBAN address. It's like, I don't know if you saw our press release for the Oasis launch, but this is like a real revolution. At least I see it as a real revolution that we built together here to make like old money understand and behave as if it was a token on a blockchain, and like in a truly connecting an old system to the new world, and making those be able to interact with each other. The next step, as you said, is Oasis Pro. That is will simply enable people to do higher swap limits and bigger transactions. So until now, and what is live and usable right now with the full release is that from a KYC perspective, up to a limit of $1,000 per month per rolling 30 days, which is like approximately 820 euros. Owning a bank account, a European bank account, is enough to use it. So that means that you don't have to register, you don't have to do additional KYC. on top of, you know, already owning a bank account. That is enough to make transactions into and out of Bitcoin and NIM within those given limits. But you know, as we are interacting with the old world and directly connecting that to the new blockchain world, we also have to follow some basic rules that apply in everyday life. And that means larger sums, if you want to transact them, it's just, you know, it's not censoring, but like it's just the rules say, if you want to transact larger sums, we at least have to know who you are. And that is a very basic piece that we're adding. But, you know, keeping in mind that both 1031 and Nimiq, like both teams are sitting in racing cars going 200 miles per hour. Yeah. And so it was a massive effort for everybody involved to release OASIS and to have this technology live. And this is, you know, we're already working on it. So the team is already working on implementing that KYC solution. And then once that is live, people will be able to do a simple KYC procedure with 1031, and that will open up higher transaction limits for OASIS. That is what's coming next. And of course, we're also aware that, you know, Nimiq Wallet is the first place where you can actually use it, OASIS in its full. But we know that there is like a multitude of different wallets and services or whatever people are using. And so we also want to cater to those who are actually like into crypto, but not using the Nimiq wallet. And we are working on, let's say, a very extremely, potentially the easiest standalone product that will enable people to go in and out of crypto outside of the Nimiq wallet. Wow. We're doing research in that way. And of course, you know, it will work on Nimiq OASIS. And as you know, is that we are using 1% of the fees that we collect to buy and lock NIM. And of course, you know, so we're definitely looking at ways to increase transaction volumes, because we know that this is like a valuable mechanism, and also the community likes that fact that, you know, the NIM ecosystem itself is able to benefit from the volume that OASIS actually creates.
Yeah, because that will add a lot of liquidity, I think, if the transaction, or if you're able to send and hold more than 820 euros or $1,000, but you could also send or hold 100,000 or a million or more. Yeah, then it will of course also be absorbed by Nimiq, and it will probably do something with the price of NIM.
I don't know. You know, let's wait and see what happens. We definitely focus on expanding, you know, the OASIS ecosystem itself. Yeah. Of course, you know, like it's very useful. So we're looking forward to other people and projects integrating the technology. But, you know, on the other hand, we also have to keep in mind that all the transactions that go through OASIS also mean locked up NIM that will be held or are held with the Nimiq Foundation, and could be used, you know, in a future for the benefit of the project. And so yeah. all cool. We'll keep building for a couple of years. So it's good. We appreciate every support.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, and of course for adoption, listing on exchanges also helps a lot. Are there any developments on that front?
Well, you know, of course, we're always keeping our eyes open, and we're not blind, and we're monitoring what's going on. But being so close to a transition from a proof of work to a proof of stake chain, and then, you know, like if you're talking to partners, basically, maybe at this point they would like finish the integration, and right after launching, we could tell them, hey, now we can do the whole thing again and again, right again, because we're transitioning to proof of stake. I think once that change is done, we potentially might be looking at exchanges again. You know, you never know what the future brings. If OASIS is so widely adopted and accepted also in other countries, maybe, you know, it will become the favorite non-custodial on and off ramp, you know, for the world, and make centralized exchanges, you know, for specialized. Let's wait and see. But we are, you know, we're closely monitoring, and we're having our eyes everywhere. So I'm pretty sure that we're not missing anything that's important. But for now, the focus is get Nimiq 2.0 proof of stake out as soon as possible, because that will, you know, be the upgrade that everyone's been waiting for, and we've been working on for such a long time.
Can't wait for that, Max.
Me neither. I think it will be a very focused moment.
We're all very, very excited. It's gonna be pretty cool. And like in total, the blockchain is one thing, but personally for me, now seeing Oasis live, it's like that, you know, Nimiq as a project and the blockchain, like we are on the very beginning of the book, and now it's flipping that first page from page 1 to page 2, and we're like, we have the page in our hand and are turning it, and that requires an awful lot of work sometimes. But we are rapidly approaching this like 2.0 status of our, not only the blockchain, but maybe also the entire ecosystem. And that is, yeah, hopefully that's going to be a very exciting adventure and ride, and everybody is more than welcome to join us on that mission.
It sounds terrific. Yeah, speaking about looking all over the world, what do you think about what happened in Latin America with the adoption of Bitcoin? And is there maybe a room for Nimiq over there in the future?
Well, of course, you know, there's room for Nimiq everywhere, basically. No, of course, it was a big announcement of the Bitcoin Miami conference and for the entire crypto space. So basically, you know, what happened? You have this, let's make a distinction between crypto assets and cryptocurrency. There's a variety of crypto assets. You know, there is this, like, it's a big casino, you know it. If you want your 1000% APY rate with some DeFi protocol to add liquidity somewhere, or do this and that, NFTs, that is all like very special things that you can build on top of blockchain technology. But like when it comes back to the original idea behind it, the cryptocurrency, you know, it's a currency, it's a means of payment. So this is cryptocurrency. Bitcoin was invented in order to get these centralized entities out of the money world, you know, and give the responsibility and the opportunity back to the people. So with El Salvador making Bitcoin legal tender, they actually walked in that direction. You know, they could have also said like any crypto earnings that you do, any profits that you make from crypto trading are basically free. That's a different thing, you know. But they said what we are doing is we are declaring Bitcoin a legal tender, so it's money that has to be accepted as a means of payment, basically. So I think that is, from the fundamental perspective, definitely a step in the right direction. Now the problem remains. Like, I haven't been to El Salvador. I don't know like what the you know, like, for example, so Bitcoin now is legal tender in El Salvador, but will you get a haircut which is cheaper than the transaction fee that you have to use in order to pay with Bitcoin at your local hairdresser? And that is, you know, like, it's a step in the right direction, but you still come back to the same fundamental challenges that, you know, low transaction speed. It has transaction fees. It's not fast. It's not scalable. You have layer 2 technologies. Like, there are payment systems who use, for example, the Lightning Network in order to make those transactions fast. Okay, but then you come back to, it's a service, it's a company, it's centralized, you know. And so this is kind of the challenge that we're trying to solve. So of course, you know, El Salvador is perfect for us, like offering an ecosystem where Nimiq could thrive as a cryptocurrency. And you know, it's, the opportunity is still young, but like, there are ongoing discussions and what does that mean for us? What could we do with it? and that won't be over. So we will keep a close eye on the developments and see if there's anything that we could leverage for our own project, of course.
So where do you see NIM in 5 years' time, if you dare to make a prediction?
I don't. No, you know, like I think 5 years time is too far ahead. Nobody, like, if given, like, potentially we can see like the crypto adoption in the real world being like, in general, cryptocurrencies having a wider acceptance within like the native population. So, you know, nowadays you say, oh, okay, it's about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. And the first thing people say, oh, okay, did you lose anything or are you terribly rich? So it still has, you know, at least, yeah, widely spread. It's not money, you know, what El Salvador does. It's Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin. It's some investment vehicle. You know, people make money, people lose money, but it's not seen as this actual means of payment that it actually is. What El Salvador did now. And I hope that in the next years, with more and more of like similar news to come out, that this will change. And people say, okay, you know, cryptocurrency is actually a means of payment because it is secure. It is accepted, and it becomes like people feel more natural about talking about it, maybe even using it, having it. You know, that's something completely different. Given, you know, there's a big difference between, for example, German people trading stock and Americans. Like that's it's a cultural thing in general of how you grew up with those things. And I think we will make a big leap in that direction, that it will become more natural and more accepted to have cryptocurrency and pay with cryptocurrency. From a technological standpoint, you know, it's very hard to predict. You saw the DeFi hype. Now we have an NFT hype. I have no idea what will be next, but for sure, you know, people are smart. They'll come up with something. But we will always, you know, if you see the whole crypto space like a pyramid, like you have the base layer, which is like the technological foundations of everything that comes above. Then, you know, as a second layer, you have smart contract functionalities that enable you to write smart protocols and programs in order to connect different things and work together and enable that whole DeFi thing. And then you build a cultural art hype on top of these smart contracts, call it NFT, and it's amazing. So the pyramid will continue to grow. But what we are working on is not to add another layer on top of the pyramid, but we are actually looking for extending the base of this entire thing. You know, like Nimiq OASIS, as we call it, the DeFi crypto fiat bridge, because it offers you a non-custodial way to on-ramp into the crypto space with fiat. So this is not built on top. This is not an ERC20 liquidity euro thing, but this is actually a missing link, like a missing brick in the base layer. Like imagine you have this like this theme park. You have the crypto theme park with all of these decentralized rides in there. You know, it's really cool. You have like people can do a lot and have fun. But the fun thing is, in order to enter the theme park, there's like a little booth with someone sitting in there, and he's asking for your ticket, and he's taking a look into your backpack, what you're bringing. And in a decentralized world, that basically shouldn't be the case, you know. So why that link in order to make a non-custodial exchange between crypto and fiat to become part of this decentralized crypto world, that was still missing, and that is what we delivered with OASIS. So I'm very much looking forward to see what's been built on the pyramid in the next 5 days. But we will always continue to extend the base layer of the entire crypto space, and, you know, offer valuable contributions and make that cooler and better and easier accessible for everyone.
Yeah, we love it, and we'll keep promoting it, and we'll keep hodling it
for sure. Yeah. And staking it.
And soon staking it.
Yeah, that's going to be real cool. I'm looking forward to staking too.
I have one more question, Max. You also said there was a sort of pool to do good with, or to do
treasury.
Yeah, a sort of treasury, but also to do something back for the community, if I understood.
Yeah,
that's important to share, I think.
Yeah, it is. So basically, there are two foundations. The Nimiq Foundation, who basically, I think it's 525 million NIM that the foundation is holding. That is meant, in maybe a day. Like everybody who knows us knows that we are we are a crowdfunding project. So everything that we're building until now is that we promised to give to build such a fully decentralized payment system. That was our promise to the community. That's easy to use and runs in your browser. And that is how what Nimiq is built upon. And we are, until today, still benefiting as a project from this crowdfunding, and we're still building. But maybe at some point in the future, we will have to find another way to keep developing the Nimiq ecosystem. So the Nimiq Foundation itself has the aim to support the growth and development of the Nimiq blockchain and the ecosystem itself. But on another hand, we have a second foundation called Impact X. And this foundation holds, I think, 420 million NIM. And the only purpose, both in a 10-year vesting contract, and nobody over here has any plans to touch that, because we're still early. It's been some years that we've been developing Nimiq, but we're not done yet. And so hopefully in the future, that will be offer us the opportunity to contribute to projects who want to do good to society and have ecological impact, whatever that might be. If it serves the planet, if it serves the people, and we think that it is aligned with a vision and mindset, we want to have the possibility to support that and use some of that foundation's money to contribute. And that is within Nimiq's DNA. This is from the very beginning, the ecological and positive impact on society was part of Nimiq's DNA from day one. So this is nothing that we're those funds are in the Genesis block. It's nothing that we came up with up 2 years saying, oh, okay, cool, let's become charitable. People like that. No, this is what we did from the very beginning. And everybody is very much looking forward to also contribute. But it's still a bit early. We're looking at first initiatives that maybe would be a good fit, but it's still very early. And hopefully over the next couple of years, we'll also see increased opportunities in what we can do.
Yeah, now looking forward to that, and that's important for people to understand about Nimiq. Your vision is and has been, I think, one of the most exciting parts for me looking at Nimiq, and also, of course, the technology, because it is very easy to use. And those two things together, that make Nimiq one of the most interesting projects out there.
Yep. Totally agree.
That's very, very, very nice to hear that you value this approach. And this is, when it comes back to the 5 fundamental pillars of crypto and the 5 human things, I think it's the mindset. There's Nimiq from an token asset perspective, it's a currency, but we're also a project. And you spoke about our big community, and there is, if you're not, let's say, a trader, or you want to use it for everyday payment, there's also an answer to why are you part of it? Why is it, what's the philosophy, and why is it cool for you? And this is our purpose. We want to contribute. This is what we're doing. We want to do good. And so to whoever who's really, we offer a purpose behind our project, beneath technology and currency. And I think that's important.
An oasis of love for the community. Yeah.
It all comes back to Nimiq being the good force that binds things together. It's our name, it's our project, it's our DNA, and I think it's the right thing to do.
I think you're located in Germany, right? Am I mistaken, or?
Yes, I'm located in Germany, but there is like a small portion of our team who usually like mostly lives here in Costa Rica. They're here, so I took I don't know, the risk, the opportunity to hop on a very long flight and be here in Costa Rica with the colleagues for Oasis launch.
Wow,
in a very reduced team, but it's pretty hot and sweaty out here in the Costa Rican rainforest.
I think you made a smart move, but yeah, it's next door to us, so that's nice to hear. Yeah, I think we cannot take much more of your time, Max, but we really appreciate it that you were back on, and we should definitely do it again because NIM is constantly developing and there's so much news.
And we have one important thing, of course, because we got a very nice donation gift from Nimiq. And of course, we want to also not hold it, but give it to our community and the broader NIM community or Nimiq community.
I think they're waiting for it.
Yeah, they probably are. So, Nick, what do they have to do to get this awesome gift?
Well,
because what is the gift?
$100 worth of NIM, and that's a lot of NIM.
That's almost, I think, 16,000 NIM. Yeah, it's a big gift.
So, and what they have to do is like what they usually have to do on our program. They have to go to Twitter. They have to tag you, Max. They have to tag Nimiq. They have to tag us. That's CryptoND1 and J Dalmolder. And then they have to tell what they really liked about this interview.
And what they like about the project.
And what they like about the project,
Oasis.
Of course. What they learned. So tell us what you learned during this interview, what stuck with you, what really excited you. Tweet about it, tag us, and you might be selected as the winner of $100 worth of NIM.
So thank you for the awesome gift also, Max.
For
and
sponsoring.
Of course, Nimiq.
You're very welcome, gentlemen. And if you want to learn more about Nimiq Oasis, visit nimiq.com/oasis. We've got a brand new landing page for our launch. Everything is explained. Like it serves as a hub to the entire Nimiq universe. So if you want to learn and read more, nimiq.com/oasis. Of course. And I look forward to being your guest again and talking about the next developments. You know, it's a constant. We're constantly building, so thanks a lot for having me, gentlemen.
Well, we can't wait to the next the next show, and of course we'll retweet and help Nimiq on their journey, and you, Max.
Yeah, and thanks for being so generous.
Of course, you know, it's always a pleasure, and thank you to everyone who watched. It's quite late in Germany and Europe already. Thanks for being part of this, and see you next time.
Take care, Max.
Have a great stay in Costa Rica. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.
Take care.
So, people, that was Max of Nimiq, spokesperson of Nimiq.
Always a pleasure. Max is so knowledgeable. He's a great speaker also, a great communicator. And we always enjoy talking to Max and learning the latest news about Nimiq. And you heard it. You can win $100 worth of NIM. Go to Twitter, tag us, tag Max, tag Nimiq, and explain what you learned during the show and what stuck with you and what excited you.
Yeah, and also go to www.nimiq.com.
It again.
Nick will drop it in the chat.
Learn about Oasis.
Learn about it and about Nimiq, of course, if you haven't already. So you can join this amazing community and also start using the product because it is really 1 or 2 clicks and then you're there. So
it's very easy.
Not very hard. It's not hard at all. It's easier than setting up an email.
And it's very fast.
Yeah, and really, really fast.
And low fees. So it's actually all you can want from a payment system.
So go there.
But before you all leave, or before we leave, we got a next show after this one with Yuna and Graffiti Kings, and you can win a awesome NFT if you stick around and watch that show after this.
Or be back, because we'll say goodbye to you and we'll be back in 10 minutes.
So take care. We always say 2 things.
Watch, learn,
and